All right, so I got my restoration gloves on. We're going to do an unboxing. And it is so hot here in New York. Apparently there's a heat wave. And so if you hear that rusty old fan blowing above me, it's because, yeah, it's about 40 years old. And our air conditioning, yeah, we got to change it. All right, so let's go. Let's get this open. Oh, we'll do this in fast motion because I know you guys have no attention span. All right, so what we got here is you just think just your average bracelet, right? Well, I can tell you that this is just not your average bracelet. Now I'll show you the listing. Antique bracelet slash $20. And this is the only picture they had, so I had nothing to go on this. And I was like, should I go for it or should I not? Well, I offered $10 and the seller accepted. All right, so we got our mannequin hand. Why? Because nobody wants to see my Italian hairy hands. I mean arms. And all right, so here we go. We have this what looks like a little heart and links. And then sometimes there's a telltale sign inside of what it is. So let's look for it and search. Hold on, I'm going to zoom in. And it does say something, but my camera's not picking it up. So I'm going to have to get my loupe and see what it says. Okay, so upon further investigation, it says the word co-star. Now, I do know that this was made during World War II. During World War II, when precious metals were in short supply. Believe it or not, stainless steel was really important, and copper and all sorts of metals, which you would not think is precious metal today. But back then, that was precious metal needed for the war effort. So this is a World War II era bracelet when metals were in short supply. When if you wanted to buy jewelry, things were usually silver was used more often. And why silver? I don't know why they didn't really use it as much in the war effort, but I'm sure they needed things like steel and lead and stuff like that and copper for bullets. So that was more important. So a lot of these little bracelets were actually silver with gold plating over it. And so we have the mark Co-Star. And I forgot what particular jewelry company made this, but this is what's known as a sweetheart bracelet. And a sweetheart bracelet was basically a soldier is signing him, enlisting himself into the war effort, and he would give his sweetheart a bracelet like a forget-me-not. And so women would wear these as support for their loved ones who were fighting overseas. Now, generally also, the soldiers who were enlisted could, while they were enlisted, they would, I guess, a catalog would go around and they would order this for their sweetheart and send it back to her. So this is really something special, although the value is not really high. It's more sentimental. Now, what's cool about these stretch. And look at that. You see how that stretches? The links? I don't know if you can see that. Now, the reason why I have my restoration gloves on is because I want to clean it. So I'm going to place it on this dummy. But first, I want to cover the dummy with, let's cover the dummy, because I'm going to use chemicals on this. And maybe I'll let you guys watch how I clean these things. But, now let's try to put the bracelet over this. And, hold on. It should stretch, hopefully, over this. We don't want to break it. Alright, this is a good sign. This is a very good sign. It's going over. There we go. You could wear this over a sweater as well. So, alright, I'm going to clean the links. They're very dirty. Let's get a close-up. Do you see that? A lot of the gold plating has worn off, but if I could just clean it up just a little bit, let me just zoom out. I can clean this up just a little bit and make it more shiny. It'll be prettier. And in between each link, it looks like it's really tarnished. So that's telling me that it's most likely silver with gold plating. So the products that I'm using in this video, I will actually put a link in the description below. This is a metal polishing rag with a buffer on the outside. So this is a buffing part. This it's supposed to be impregnated with silver cleaner. It's really never really enough. So what I do is I get this, let me get it, SIMICHORME polish. It's actually banned in California, which is ridiculous. You can use this to clean silver, any kind of metal basically, copper, lead, anything. Alright, so let's get this ready. You want to do a patch test first because you don't know. Now, this is lightly plated. Very light plating of silver. You don't want to rub too hard because you can take off the whole layer of gold plating. So we're going to do a patch test, and this rag is pretty much spent. So I had to find a spot that's really not that used. And all right, so I found this little spot right here. I'm going to put a dab of this. A dab will do you, because you don't want to put too much on. All right, so I'm going to place my fingertip right where the polish is. I'm going to find a spot. We'll do a patch test on the back where nobody will notice if it's that bad. Let me zoom in for you guys. And all right, I mean, I should just leave it as it is, to be quite honest, but it just bothers me. I have like a little bit of this OCD type of thing going on here, and it bothers me when things are dirty. And you can see the filth that is coming off of this. This is probably telling me that this is tarnish, and this was silver plated, as you can see here. And it's getting much shinier. When I'm done with this, I buff it. I buff it to a full shine. I'll be back. All right, so I just cleaned it. It's gleaming. Do you see this? It looks so much better. Look at that. Look at the incredible shine on it. It was really, I don't know, it was in like fair shape, I'd say. But now this bracelet is worth much more than $20. But is it worth thousands? The answer is no. Let's get it on our mannequin. So believe it or not, these bracelets have become a TikTok rage with the younger people. The younger people now have made these more valuable. And before, you can get them for about anywhere between like 25 to maybe $50. And now their prices are going up on these because of the TikTok generation, the Generation Z people. Thank you. They are actually finding the sentimentality in vintage items and vintage objects. And let's go ahead and take a look at the detail on this. It has a beautiful, beautiful etched heart. I don't know if you can see that. And right here we have these really lovely designs going on every other link. I don't know if you can see that. So the TikTok generation has bought the Sweetheart bracelets back. Let's check out some more information about the Sweetheart bracelets, like some history on it. And let's also find out the many different companies that made these. And let's see what they sell for generally on the internet. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I was very concerned about the soldier that gave this Sweetheart bracelet out. I was really, I wondered, did he survive the war? Did he live? Did he die? Was his sweetheart very upset and distraught that he didn't make it through the war? Well, good news. I think he lived, because the seller, this particular seller, had a bunch of World War II costume jewelry. And in that costume jewelry, like, they had multiple listings from the same era, the 1940s. And it must have been the same lady's jewelry. He bought up the estate of this lady, the seller. The seller didn't know anything about these things. Now, there's plenty of more treasures, but I can't afford to buy them all. This was the greatest treasure of them all. There was a deflated duck, I believe it was called, a deflated duck pin. And basically that means honorable discharge. And that was given out between, it was actually an eagle pin, but I believe the soldiers called it deflated duck or something like that. So basically, if you were discharged from the military during World War II between 1939 and 1946, you were given this honorable discharge pin. And so if you were on base and you didn't have that on, they would holler and scream at you, hey, get to your quarters. But if you had the deflated duck on, you would actually be left alone and you got to go home. You had to wear it, I believe, for 1 month on your lapel. And after that, now you were home free. So whoever's sweetheart, whoever's sweetheart got this bracelet, got her sweetheart back as well. And so that's good news. Now, I forgot to mention also, the duck pin is being sold by this seller for $5 with $5 shipping. I was going to buy it after I bought this, but then I was like, $10, those deflated duck, I think it's called the deflated duck, don't mind me, buck. I'll show you actually, but yeah, they don't have much value. They're probably like worth $10 to $15 all day long, and I didn't want to invest $10 in something that I can only get $10 back for. Although I'm not selling this bracelet, it's still, I don't know. What do you think? Write in the comments below. Should I reunite the deflated duck with the Sweetheart bracelet? Because I don't think anyone's going to be buying it from this seller. He has terrible pictures of it. But then again, I think those two should stay together. So you tell me in the comments below. Also, if you want to donate the deflated duck pin to me, I will give you the eBay listing, a link to it. You can purchase it for me, and I'll have you guys send it to me. It's up to you. $10, put these two together, well, there's tax. So it would probably be like $11. I don't know. What do you think? These two should stay together, or I should just like quit while I'm ahead? All right, so let's check out the seller's other things. They think this is an antique watch. They didn't have wristwatches when this particular type of coin was being made. They're a little off there. Let's try to find, we have an American flag tie tack. That might be the soldier's also. So maybe the soldier was in the U.S. Navy. We have anchor pins, very interesting. He puts all the things make an offer, like $10. Let's try to find that deflated duck. Again, a lot of World War II jewelry. And let's continue to find the deflated duck, unless somebody bought it. And let's go ahead. Look, broken watches. All of these are the 40s. Definitely from the 40s. Antique pin, $5 or best offer. Maybe, yeah. Maybe I can get them down to $2.50, and then it would cost me under. It would cost me under $10. Let's click on it, and what does it say? Here we go. There we go. So we know her sweetheart made it home. Very, very cool. And there's no information on it. It's called ruptured duck. I called it deflated. Okay, so here we go. Lapel pin, World War II, honorable discharge, ruptured duck, satin gold. And again, they're really not worth very much. It's really, really not a valuable item. They do have one for $25 on Ruby Lane. Now, the other one I just showed you was a reproduction of it. So, yeah, I guess you'd have to pay about $25. So, I mean, really no value. They actually also made them in gilded plastic because there was a shortage of metal. So I don't even know if the one in the seller's listing is made out of plastic or metal. All right, so we're going to look at Sweetheart, the National Museum of American History, the fashion, the patriotism, and romance of World War II. Sweetheart jewelry. So you can get pieces such as this during World War II. A lot of it made out of celluloid because there was, there was not that much precious metal around. Does your family own any jewelry from World War II? And here we go. Here's a few pieces of Sweetheart. Now, Sweetheart jewelry started in World War I as a means of connection between wives and mothers and sweethearts back home and the men fighting overseas. Now, I believe this is from World War II, and it says Sweetheart. Isn't that really cute? United States Navy. And that's some of the pieces that you will find. And it says, Sweetheart jewelry of World War II vintage was made of a variety of metals. Due to the rationing placed on metals during the war, many of the items were made from alternate metals, such as wood and plastic. Sterling silver was not rationed, so it was used to produce better quality jewelry. Interesting. All right, so here's some pins you'll find that are Sweetheart jewelry in the museum's collection. Here's, again, in the Navy. We have loose talk can cost lives. Yes, big mouths. What did they say? Loose lips sink ships. All right, and then beat the Axis. Look at this. Remember Pearl Harbor? And you'll find such pieces on the internet. And the production of Sweetheart jewelry pretty much ended after World War II. In recent years, collecting the vintage pieces has been on the upswing, but during the war, it seemed that everybody had a piece or two. And this person rummaged through their grandmother's jewelry box and found this. Look at that. Really quite cool. And it belonged to the writer's grandmother, the Uncle Sam hat. And here's more information. So basically, historically, Sweetheart jewelry dates back to the First World War, serving as a connection between man overseas and loved ones back home. While a token in the First World War, the concept took hold during the Second World War with companies such as Trifari and Coro. Those were costume jewelry companies, creating pieces in patriotic themes. And basically, after 1945, it pretty much stopped. And it's really interesting to collect all this stuff. So we're going to try to get an idea of how much do these pieces sell for. Here's one. By the way, mine that's called Co-Star was made by the W&H Jewelry Company. So you find out more information. Now, they say no two are alike. They're like very different with the etchings. And this one sold out. What did it sell for? We won't know. But let's go on to the next. I'm showing you just examples. Some of the prices they sell for. Does it mean it's worth that? The answer is no. But here's another one for $228 by Co-Star. And you can see, whoa, something just fell. You can see that the plating, all the plating is coming off of it. Mine, after cleaning it, looks fantastic. All right, let's go to the next one. And here we go. Antique gold-filled Sweetheart bracelet. And how much is this person selling it for on Etsy? We shall soon see. This one is by Co-Star with a sterling base, $399. And this one is in grody condition. You can see all the plating came off of it. And yet here we have another one being sold for $225. This one has multiple different like rose gold, right, and yellow gold, and again under a silver base. And this person showing you what it looks like with a bunch of bracelets on their wrist. And again, $225. And here we have another design. You notice the hearts are almost always different on each and every one of them. And that one is at $275. Here's another one, and you can find them for cheaper. It doesn't have to be in the 200s. This one sold for $125. Why did it sell at $125 and so quickly? Because this one is in beautiful shape, and it is actually engraved. Engraved ones are worth more money if they have the initials of the person. But actually, I don't see any initials, but it says engraved. They mean engraved mark. And here we go. It says co-star on the link. And it sold for $125. Now, other companies besides CoStar made these. This one was by Call Art, and this is a double heart decal sweetheart bracelet selling for $168 in sort of shoddy condition. I mean, look at that. But it's still selling for $168, and they did have different companies making them, which is quite interesting. Here's another example, and this one is $248 sold out. So it did sell. And it's nothing, yeah, it's really nothing to really write home about. And that one sold for $248. And here's another one. This one is made by GF. It says, gold-filled fronts. And the maker was Hall of Providence. It sold for $258. And this one was made by a company by the name of Pittman and Keller. And this one sold for $248. Now, a company that used to make makeup compacts, Marathon, and perfume bottles, made them as well. And this one is really in really shoddy condition. Really, I mean, look, it's like everything is worn off of it, as you can see. And this one's being sold for $159. And here we have another one found on Etsy for $394.61. And this is by CoStar, the same brand that I have. And as you can see, the prices are going up on these. And so what bracelets used to sell for about in the $25 to $50 price range, now these are on the upswing because of all the TikTokers. And I found a bunch of videos with TikTok Generation Z girls showing their sweetheart bracelets. And it's like they get high from it. I am not kidding you. They do all these videos showing you all their collection of sweetheart bracelets. So that's why the prices are going up. If you see this in a thrift store, grab it. Even if the plating is peeling off of it, grab it. Because they're actually, people are like starting to see the, not only the sentimental value, but they're actually wanting them now. Whereas before I should have in the past, when I can get them for 25 bucks, maybe 30 bucks. In really good condition like this one, I should have snatched them all up, but I thought, it's worthless jewelry, it's costume jewelry. And now I'm kicking myself in the behind. So if you see one of these in a thrift store, grab it, and grab it fast, because it's going, you know, you saw the prices they were selling for. Can you still get them for $25 or $50? Yes, as in the example of my example, someone listed it for $20 and I ended up only paying $10. So the bargains are still out there. There's not everybody that's going to know that these are World War II sweetheart bracelets. So you have a chance, and you have a chance of snatching these up for a really good buy. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys all soon, and so long.